Good morning, y'all. The Lord has been really showing me about joking and pranks and all that stuff. He's been showing me for a while, but even more so in the past like week and a half. And I just want to share with y'all some of the things that the Lord has been showing me, some of the things that I looked up, some stuff that I just looked up, and to kind of like help y'all get an understanding of what joking actually is. So a long time ago, actually, like years ago, I was reading through the scriptures and I landed on a part in Proverbs that talks about joking. And it's Proverbs chapter 26, verse 18 and 19. And it says, like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death, is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. Now, who is our neighbor? Our neighbor is anybody else that lives on this earth that we have to deal with. So anytime you say, I was just joking, if you make a joke or whatever, or you be harsh in some type of way and say, I was just joking, you are deceiving your brother, you are being unloving, you are not walking in love at all. And you basically is if you were spitting out death. And then it's basically if you were speaking out death and then saying, I was just playing. Like, it's basically a harsh way of playing that's not of God. Okay? And it's talking about your neighbor. We're supposed to love our neighbor. We're supposed to treat our neighbors good. We're not supposed to joke with them, be rude with them, be cruel with them, and then talk about I'm only joking. Okay? So if you deceive your brother, you're just like somebody who's throwing death at your brother when you say, I was just joking. And it's a lie. If you really think about it, you lying temporarily. And then it's a lie. A lie is a lie. So you lie for a moment and then you say, oh no, I was just playing. So you hold on to this lie and then you say, I was just playing. When it either has some truth to it or you're just being extremely cruel, unloving, and rude. Okay, so that's the first thing. So I just wanted to show y'all that to kind of say like what joking actually is. It's kind of like you throwing death or, hateful speech or unloving speech towards your brother and then talking about I'm only playing. Like, would Jesus do that? He wouldn't walk around talking about, if you sick, I can make you whole. Oh no, you're gonna be sick forever. I'm just playing. I'll make you whole. No, Jesus wouldn't do that. Jesus walked in love. He spoke in love. We also gonna talk about how you speak to your brother, like without joking and stuff like that. So, and so to some people, this may come off as okay. So we gonna have a boring life. Then we can't joke and laugh. We can't laugh and stuff like that. Yeah, you can laugh. When Jesus set you free of sin, and he gives you peace and he helps you to grow in love towards your neighbor, you're going to find other reasons to laugh. You ain't just got to joke, and you're going to find other reasons to put in that void, to fill that joking void. I laugh so much with people I just met and everything. Not joking at all. I don't joke at all with the people I just meet. And don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of joking too. I used to be very sarcastic with my tongue. I used to be very joking. I would say something cruel and foul and they'd be like, I'm just playing. It happened to me the other day. I'll tell y'all later about what happened. But anyway, that's when the Lord like really gripped my tongue and was like, no, India, you are not about to continue in this joking, jesting speech. Okay? So now that I told y'all, what joking is, like it's kind of like you spitting death at your neighbor. I also want to show in the New Testament, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 3 and 4. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not even be named among you as is fitting for saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather giving of thanks. So what the Lord is saying there is, he don't want us to be unclean. He don't want us to be in fornication, but also he don't want us to joke, use foolish language, or none of that. He only wants our speech to be giving thanks, or, he wants us to walk away from all that filthiness and uncleanness. Joking and sarcasm is filthy, foolish speech, and it's jesting, and it's cruel, and it's harsh, and it's not walking in love. So all that joking and stuff like that is definitely not walking in love, and it's not a fruit of the Spirit. It's not something that the Lord wants us to take hold of. It's not something that Jesus himself would do. So he wants us to give thanks and have a beautiful tongue toward our neighbor. Okay? Now, this also includes, and then in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 25, like instead of lying, instead of being deceptive, instead of joking, instead of being cruel or sarcastic, these are things that we can replace those with. And you have to ask the Lord. He'll show you where you're being cruel or sarcastic and stuff like that. He'll renew you. He'll renew your mind to the correct way to speak to people and to what good laughter is. Okay, so in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 25, therefore, putting away lying, let each one of you speak truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one another. I'm going to read it again. Therefore, putting away lying, and joking is a form of lying, sarcasm is a form of joking is a form of lying where you say, this happened, da da da. I'm just playing, that didn't happen. That's lying. That's lying. The root of it is lying and unloving speech. Therefore, putting away lying, let each one of you speak truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one another. So the Lord don't want us lying and being foolish with one another. He wants us to speak truth to one another. Speak the truth to one another. Speak plain English. It ain't gotta, if you gotta think if you gotta make it up in your mind and you gonna say, I'm just playing after it, don't say it. If it's any form of joking or jesting, it's better not to say it. It's better to not laugh at all with people than to laugh because you're joking. Than to laugh because you've been sarcastic and harsh. It's better not to just not engage in the conversation at all than to laugh and joke. And don't even laugh and joke. You may catch yourself laughing, but you need to stop. Immediately stop laughing because it's something that's not of God. Okay, so now that we, talked about what joking is, which is foolish speech, and it's like throwing death at your brother and stuff like that when you deceive your brother and say, I'm just joking. We also talked about in the New Testament how the Lord don't want us to speak. He wants us as followers of Christ, we're supposed to speak to our neighbor in love. As followers of Christ, we're supposed to speak to our neighbor in love, and that coarse jesting is harsh, rude, and unkind. So now I wrote some little notes, which I got to get through because I got to go to work. Sarcasm, when you be like when people are sarcastic, that's rude and unloving speech. You should never be talking in sarcasm. You just be speaking out of the truth, which is not necessarily scripture all the time. It's just, how was your day? My day was nice. It was da-da-da-da-da-da. Just speak plain. You don't have to have these sarcastic hints and tones to it. The Lord will show y'all. The Lord will show y'all what I mean and what his spirit is saying. Anytime where you about to say, I'm just playing, or you got to think of a lie, some smart remark, and you about to say, I'm just playing, it's better just to avoid it and don't say nothing. The Lord loves when we guard our tongue, when we depend on him for our speech, and we allow him to make us whole, like closer to him, how he is, which is holy, and to cleanse our minds and our spirits and all of that from joking. Anything that's linked to a lie or unloving speech towards someone or a situation. So if you about to joke on somebody else that's not in the room, or if you about to say, use a sarcastic tone or gossip or anything that's coming out of your mouth that's not talking the truth or walking in love, God do not like it. Also, it ruins your witness. You'll kind of be like the boy or girl who cried wolf. In my marriage, we used to joke a lot. So now when my husband is telling me a truthful statement, I'll be like, you playing, stop lying, you lying. You lie. I think he's lying. And vice versa with me. He has to keep saying, you lying, stop lying, man. I'm not playing, stop lying. Like, we shouldn't have to say that. Now, whenever I say something that's shocking, and it be true, my husband be like, you lying, stop lying. Because he can't believe what's coming out of my mouth because I done played and joked so much over the course of our relationship. Now we still like, you lying, you playing. Even though we said we wasn't going to joke or play no more, we still don't believe each other when we say something shocking. So it ruins your witness kind of in a sense. Like, I can't just walk in and my husband be like, baby, it's a lion walking down the street. It could be really a lion walking down the street, but my husband wouldn't believe me because we spent so much of our marriage being sarcastic and playing around. Also, pranks. I used to love watching pranks on YouTube until the Lord showed me that they were all ungodly. They would lie the whole time and then at the end be like, it's a prank. Like, that's so evil and ungodly. And it's a lie straight from the pit of hell that you done made up in your mind to trick or deceive your brother. And that's walking away from unloving speech. Also, let me see. And then also you have to ask yourself, would Jesus do it? Is this speech acceptable in the eyes of the Lord? Like, would the Lord Jesus come and say this thing that I'm about to say? If not, don't say it. But anyway, that's just joking. The Lord showed me about joking, like joking, jesting, sarcasm, anything like that is not of him. He does not want us to continue in that type of speech. He wants us to die to that part of our flesh too, that wants to joke and beguile and be sarcastic and do like some little side smart comments and remarks. None of that is loving speech. He wants us to walk in love, have thanksgiving coming from our mouth, and speak the truth in love with our neighbor. Y'all have a good day. I love y'all. Bye-bye.